7 Item Stone. What's up? How you doing? This is a reaction to Team APS, Paul, and TGS Anime, Sam. These are two titans in the Yugi-Tubes space, right? These guys got millions of views. Together, collectively, probably billions. Okay, probably. But, all respects to them too. I'm not one to bash, some OGs here. I don't know if I think I'm like older than these guys or maybe the same age. Maybe older than one of them, younger than one of them, I don't know. But we're all around the same age, so, I feel like they're my peers. Don't know them at all. Don't know you guys personally, obviously. And I'll leave my comments here and there. I'm opinionating, right? I'm passionate just like y'all, okay? And I want to do a response to this because I'm a Yugi boomer as well as these guys. And no, I was not in the space of video creation for a while because I was out wasting time when I could have been making sweet Yu-Gi-Oh videos. So that's why you ain't seen me. So here I am though. And I see my peers talking about Yu-Gi-Oh in a certain way. And it's interesting how they view Yu-Gi-Oh anime and how others view Yu-Gi-Oh anime. All the Yu-Gi-Oh fans apparently do not look at this all the same, right? So I just want to point out a couple things that I saw in this video. Just talk about it. Let's have some fun, guys.
Yeah. When you saw Yu-Gi-Oh 7s, what did you think about it?
I thought it was fine. Like, it was very obviously tailored more to a younger audience, which is something that Konami needs to do because the main game is so combo focused, so heavy. They even say in the first episode of Rush, like the kids are like, Yu-Gi-Oh's become too stagnant, it's too much for like grown-ups. So they create that spin-off style of Yu-Gi-Oh. So
I do like that about 7s. That's a cool little detail that they added because it does ring true even to this day that Yu-Gi-Oh is complicated, bro. Yeah, it's too complicated. You gotta narrow it down, tighten it up. So that's why it goes well with Duel Links, okay? Being available in Duel Links. But it does suck that we never got it printed for anywhere outside the OCG. A huge loss. Like the fact that they either didn't believe in it or did not want to put the resources into it or whatever, at least for the TCG. Because you dubbed it. You dubbed the shows. You dubbed the Rush Duel anime. So, come on, guys.
I don't blame Konami for making an anime tailored more towards a younger demographic. Right. I watched a couple episodes of it. I thought it was...
A couple episodes, Sam? You only watched a couple episodes of 7s? I'm a Yugi boomer here too, but I at least watched the whole of 7s. And it was good.
It was good, but it
was good.
It didn't scratch that itch for me. It wasn't...
A couple episodes good, though. The whole little thing for it, like being marketed towards kids, it was really good for the younger demographic. To be a little shout out to Duel Monsters and all that, having blue eyes and all the mystical elf and the hoochied up disco queen. What was her name? Diane Keto. Diane Keto got the glow up, baby.
We've had characters like Yuma and I think even like Yuya. They're on the younger side of protagonist.
Yeah, so younger protagonists in Yu-Gi-Oh. Yugi started out at 14, right? No, 15. 3 years in high school. By the end of Dark Side of Dimensions, he's graduated. He's 18, about to hit the scene in his grandpa's shop. But GX and then seeing Jaden grow up. I think he's 18 by Bonds Beyond Time, right? Who knows? And of course, you say he was like 18 or something, right? Then like time skips that happen, I guess, right? So mostly mature, and then you get the younger ones. Yuma, he was the odd man out at the time, and then people really loved him. So it works if you do it right. And for 7s, they did it pretty good for an 11-year-old. Yugi Odo was 11 years old. I really liked his character. It was stronger than what people want to give it credit for. Like, even in the dub, sub, each interpretation is pretty good. It's pretty strong for a character. For like the Yu-Gi-Oh protagonists lined up next to each other, I accept Yugi Odo.
When I first saw Yu-Gi-Oh 7s, I was like, this is like just too young. Like, it feels like I'm not really able to like relate to the cast as much. Like, because they're...
Yeah. Paul, do you not remember what it was like to be a child? Everybody, I know, grown mother man right here's okay, but come on, you can kind of go back, dude. There's something you could relate to. Even me, I was like, wow, this guy's like a little cyberpunk kid. I remember what that's like. That's what like Yu-Gi-Oh is kind of all about. But I think there's a little bit of something that you could relate to. I think, the writers have that in mind. So, I don't know. Come on. These are grown people writing these shows. And it's not like they don't know that darker elements are there, which there was in Sevens that led into Go Rush. I mean, we're talking about genocide.
What about like Go Rush? Now that's the sequel and it's a little different. Have you engaged with that at all?
So I've only watched a few episodes of...
Again, Sam, a few episodes. Me too, actually. It was hard to find Go Rush. I didn't know that I could just go get a Surfshark VPN real quick. Not sponsored, I'm just saying that's like the only one that worked for me. I didn't know you could do that and just watch it on YouTube on the OCG channel or whatever they were watching it. At least you could do that now. They're playing like a bunch of compilations on one of the OCG Yu-Gi-Oh Anime channels. You could watch it, but people don't know that. And people who can't get Surfshark VPNs or whatever, I could barely afford it. The access to Go Rush and Sevens was a pain in the ass. It was hard to cover for even Yugi-Tubers on a weekly basis. But Go Rush, the alien guy, what's his name? I don't even... Udius. Again, I like the spirit of it. I like the spirit of it in the beginning of the few episodes that I saw, just like Sam. But hard for me to accept that the newest protagonist is an alien. I mean, come on. I like grounded stories. It was hard enough to accept Yuma, straight up. Even Yusei was pushing it.
It seems fine. It's interesting because they've got like main characters that are a brother-sister duo. So that's like the first time we've had a female lead in the Yu-Gi-Oh series as well, which is pretty cool.
Why is she the female lead though? I didn't watch enough episodes to watch because why is Udius the protagonist? Then we got these two little twins here. I mean, it was cool. You just gotta have more characters for the audience to identify with. I get it. If you want to talk about female protagonists, I mean, we've got 3 so far for the Chronicles. If you want to, I mean, 4 technically. With Ecclesia, Dogmatica, Florida Lees. We've got the Sky Strikers, right? I mean, all female leads, technically.
What about then the next, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Rule anime? Like, we're leaving off on, I guess, the end of Reigns. How did you feel about Reigns, and where would you see a next Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime go?
Reigns was good. It was very rushed towards the end, and you can feel it in the actual story. And I have some problems with modern Yu-Gi-Oh! On screen with some of the duels.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Talk about that. Actually, I want to hear, because I feel like we probably have
modern Yu-Gi-Oh! On screen. Everybody talks about this. Everybody says it's so difficult. This is what they've been doing. Yes, has it caused them massive pain and stress as animators and writers? Yeah, but you don't care. You don't care. We just want to get some Yu-Gi-Oh! Here. I don't doubt any writer can't handle current standard format, but to me, this narrative is played, bro.
Yu-Gi-Oh! 9. We're gonna, for the sake of our conversations, we'll just call it the 9th Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. We have gotten no announcement of this. How likely do you think that this is? Like, do you think that
very likely
they're just kind of biding their time, like, and they've got something in store?
100% likely.
Actually, maybe afraid to make a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime or aren't able to.
They are not afraid. They are not. They are working on it.
Yeah, maybe they're not quite ready to put a new one out just yet, but
they're cooking. They have got to be cooking. There's no doubt in my mind that there's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime in production right now. And a movie. Why not?
And we don't have an ongoing Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime series is actually that, like, it affects kind of the physical card game a lot as well. Because you're no longer, like, at least as I've seen it, we're kind of no longer getting an anime to follow along with the card releases. Do you ever...
Yeah.
You guys are wrong here, Paul. Probably this is actually what reminds me of why I wanted to make this video the most. It's because you're super wrong here, Paul. What do you call the Chronicles decks? I'm sick of these Yugi-Tubers totally discrediting the Chronicles. Guys, they have at least 3 or 4 sets that they have, like, paired with promotion of the Chronicles. We have now like 2 decks of the Chronicles decks. The Spirit Charmers and the Fallen of the Virtuous here. What do you call those? Call those bullshit releases, Paul? No. Those were anime releases. Those are anime releases. So you're wrong here.
That's what gets you into the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise, the actual card game, is you watch it, you think it's cool, and you start playing it. I don't know how many people watch the people physically play it and decide I want to get into it. I'm sure that does happen, but...
Yes, people do watch the anime and then eventually get into the card game or want to play out Master Duel Links. But you forget the main point is that the cards are cool because the characters are cool, and the characters are cool not just because they look cool, but because of who they are and what they go through. And what they go through is plot and story, suspense, climax. It's not just all about duels here, buds.
It's typically the anime. That's
Expand your mind.
And so without one, I feel like they're missing out on a part of their audience.
Yeah,
missing out on the part of their audience. I think you guys are completely ignoring the entire part of the community that likes the Chronicles and likes the Chronicles decks and likes all the stuff that's been going on with that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Konami, TCG and all this, yeah, they need work. But look, man, these releases have been really good. And aside from the Sky Strikers 2 episodes and all that release, people love the Chronicles moving forward. Each episode just gets better. I mean, put some respect on my name.
I'd worry about the game having another mechanic be added to the game at that point. I'm sure they could do something a bit more tasteful, something less impactful, but I don't know. It adds a lot to it.
I do feel like we kind of just have so many, at least, and this is just talking the physical like TCG game. I feel like we have more than enough mechanics to contend with. I mean,
yeah, I don't think that it's necessary to have a new mechanic for the new anime, but I will say that if you pay attention to the titling of each Yu-Gi-Oh anime, each, I guess you would say, what is that, subtitle? Right? Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, every subtext or whatever is the driving force behind each anime, right? It's like the center focus, so to speak. Duel Monsters was about the Duel Monsters, right? We're getting to the core of what this is. The Shadow Games. It's what all this derives from. It's these monsters, the Duel Monsters realm. How does that all work? Ancient Egypt, Atlantis, all that stuff that happened in Duel Monsters. Then you got GX, Generation Next. The next generation of duelists. They are what drives the story along there. And their power is the center focus. Then, of course, 5Ds. What powers that world is literally the 5Ds. It's all about the 5Ds technology or whatever the hell. Then you go to the Zexal. The power of Zexal, right? Arc V. The Arc system. All this about the technology, blah, blah, blah. This is what it's all about. Oh my god, the Arc system. Let's move dimensions. War. And then Vrains, couldn't be more clear. It's about the Vrains system, right? The virtual reality, anal intense system. The virtual reality, AINS, Vrains. I forgot the rest, but yes, right? The Vrains system is what it's all about. The simulated world, the Matrix. I would say the next anime, the titling would have to be like a driving force. It would be Yu-Gi-Oh! And whatever the technology thing is.
I know that they've got like Genesis formats already taking out like links and pendulums because like people.
Yeah, we'll take those out. Pendulum and links, you'd have to worry about them.
But I do think like,
which is hilarious. You can absolutely tie that into an anime narrative, right? That we closed off the world to Yuma and Playmaker or Yuya.
There could still be a lot to be like. One approach I really liked was like Arc 5, where they just did like worlds that were sort of based on a type of something. So like, even though they introduced pendulums, there's also just like, this is like the synchro dimension, this is like the X dimension, the fusion dimension. So like, it didn't always feel like you were just being pushed towards only the new summoning mechanic, but also like it's a way of sort of celebrating.
You could pick a favorite with that one. Arc 5 was a really good series, a great story. It was just kind of disappointing towards the end.
It was weird towards the end, but it was really good. I mean, probably one of the most ambitious series out of the whole bunch. And yeah, I agree that we should see something like an Arc V where they have like a dimensional war. I think they do cover that here a little bit too. They come to the conclusion that, yeah, seeing like a dimensional war or like a flashback of Duel Monsters and all the other series, 5Ds and all that, that way we can kind of see reanimated versions of everybody and all that. Somehow fit it into the story. Maybe we time travel and kind of interrupt the past, maybe.
I know that seems to be a trend with the latter anime is like...
Yeah, they always seem to feel rushed at some point.
Yeah, it seems like, I don't know if they're rushing to get the next series started or if it's just like a budget kind of has run out type of thing. Like,
I do think that anime moved way too fast. I mean, it almost broke, the creator almost broke Kazuki Takahashi, dude, trying to write the manga and so they could figure out the anime and all that. And I think they would be better served taking their time working on a better project or multiple projects so we can get some really good quality and treat Yu-Gi-Oh! The way it should be treated, man, like the big franchise that it is. Huge fan base.
Or like probably move away a little bit from a more futuristic kind of thing and maybe keep it a little bit more simple in scope.
I agree with that 100%. Keep it grounded. All this space and all this going outside and aliens, it's too much. You gotta bring it back. Maybe go back to the past, go back to Egypt, explore some more origin stories. Who knows?
Have you heard of Yu-Gi-Oh! Like OCG structures? This is like a manga.
Oh, I know of it. I know there's like someone with like the Trap Tricks deck and some other stuff. Yeah.
I have not like formally read it. Alec has. He tells me about it a lot. And like apparently, in that manga they are like using like just real world structure decks, and
oh wow,
like there are characters that use them.
The OCG Stories manga takes the real cards and is about a real life duelist playing Yu-Gi-Oh, not Duel Monsters, but Yu-Gi-Oh. Straight up, he's a real guy. Supposed to be. Takes place on Earth. So he's onto something here with having a Yu-Gi-Oh anime about somebody who plays Yu-Gi-Oh. And I think with that, you can expand even further and just go into a story where, I mean, you can go anywhere. Maybe some weird thing happens where the cartoon comes to life and he actually meets Yugi or whoever. I think that actually happens. Like Kite comes into the real world or something.
There's a lot of chatter about the idea of Yu-Gi-Oh! Reboot instead of a 9th new Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. How do we feel about the idea of kind of like going back to Duelist Kingdom, going back to battles?
Look, before he says anything, look, there's a way to make the new series reboot scenes and things from the original series. We can see entire things over again. Shortened, abridged, obviously, but you can tie them together with a new series, new characters, and a whole new thing. Just keep that in mind. It's a possibility. When you talk about reboots with Yu-Gi-Oh.
I feel like they could do retell the original series story again, but maybe make it much closer to the original manga. Keep a bit of a darker tone if they wanted to.
Now, a retelling closer to the manga, when it gets to the duels, I agree. But as far as like the beginning of the manga, it's very Season 0-esque. Season 0 is like very true to the manga, pretty much. I mean, it's kind of a lot different, but it's also the closest thing to the manga being represented anime form up to a certain point. The dueling doesn't start until Volume 3 with Kaiba, and you don't really see any more dueling action until like Volume 5, and then it doesn't really ramp up till Duelist Kingdom till like, I don't even know, like 12 or something like something down the line. So it's a lot of manga, but yeah, if they do that in a short retelling, I could see that. That's good. And let's continue right now.
But obviously they want to sell new products, so maybe age up characters' decks, make them a little bit more modern.
That's interesting though, if you do a retelling closer to the manga, again, manga, there's a lot of non-dueling in the manga. I guess you would skip that, right? But what's the point of retelling the manga? I guess, again, for the duel action, you want to see the brutal shadow games. I get it. But how would aging up the characters' decks go with that? Like seeing new stuff, new standard, modern meta cards for OG characters, like stuff like that when you go revisit those arcs. What would that look like, and how would you incorporate that? I think that's kind of complicated. It's kind of complicated. I think a continuation of the story, or I don't know, going back in time and giving them modern cards just doesn't compute in my head somehow. I think continue the story. Let's revisit those characters, age them up. That's one thing that anime does not like to do, is age up their characters. Digimon likes to do it. Why not Yu-Gi-Oh? Come on, guys.
I do think that sometimes we underestimate what kids are like willing to be interested in and engage with on TV. Like, I think that it's easy to overcorrect and just be like, we need to make this show have no even subtext to it at all. Like, I'm not even talking about Yu-Gi-Oh at this point, but just like a lot of times when people want to make shows for kids, it's like we must completely drain any subtext, even just the idea of like character growth sometimes becomes like, oh, it's going to be purely episodic. The characters never advance as characters. And I think that kind of like does a disservice to like the kids. Cause I mean, we got into Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm sure partly because of like the kids were in high school. Like they weren't adults, but they were in high school. And like there was mysticism, the shadow realm, like there were concepts that certainly felt more a little heavy, but by no means like were we like terrified of it and like
bullshit. I was terrified of that intro. The Battle City intro with that Egyptian flute. Shit was terrifying. I was young. I was scared. But dude, I think he's somewhat right. Media sucks now. Like shows suck. Like all these animes that come out, all the new anime sucks. Kids shows, if we're talking about kids shows, like Yu-Gi-Oh is so unique to where it's like marketed towards teens and the kids will watch it in the West because of the dubbing. There were some other heavy hitters before that, but nothing that was marketed and packaged like Yu-Gi-Oh. It was like something you'd never seen before. A few steps beyond Pokemon and a little bit beyond what everybody else knew as far as the lighter side of anime, Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that. But at the time, the networks who produced and aired this TV, right, all this programming, they were a bunch of Gen Xers, and they were like let loose, right? All these writers and like edgy boomers that came up with all this stuff at that time, man. It was just like, they were totally not holding back. Have you seen Ren and Stimpy? Oh my God. Like, why was that on Nickelodeon? So, yeah, it has tapered back. I'd say in a good and a bad way. So it's interesting. What maturity level will the next Yu-Gi-Oh anime be at?
They always tended to bring the darker elements a little bit later in the stories as well. Like Yu-Gi-Oh GX starts out as that like quite cheerful school story, and then it gets a little bit darker, and then we get to the final season. You were literally fighting the embodiment of darkness itself.
Yeah.
I think 5D, not 5Ds. Arc 5 is the same. I guess it's an interdimensional war, but when you get towards the end, I guess it starts to get darker. So yeah, they've always had that kind of aspect to it. And I because I haven't watched all of Rush and Go Rush, like you said, is there a subtext to it? Is there like some
my understanding of
that
since
a bit more grown up?
There's none. Or not, I don't want to say none, but like it is very, very much like these kids are just having their duel club at school, and like it kind of goes only a little past that.
Wrong again. Paul, goddamn, why you gotta do this? Okay, you are super wrong here. Again. Sevens and Go Rush and all that. It's a connected story, and yes, darker tones are throughout. Sevens, it's a little bit lighter, but I kind of like the characters better. Again, Go Rush, didn't see it, but the stuff that I did see in the AMVs that had the subtitles let me know that there was some serious shit going down. There was genocide. I mean, an entire race of people was killed, okay? Wiped away. What do you call that? That's genocide. That is genocide. All right? So for Paul to say that, it was just these guys who are in the duel club and that is it. No, man, there was some serious shit going down. Paul, you guys didn't even watch it. Which
is fine, but it does elevate the series, doesn't it? It makes it go from just a show about a card game to an anime with a card game involved kind of thing.
That's exactly what it was. That's what all these are. They didn't lose that. Okay, that's what this is. That's what Go Rush and Sevens was. Guys.
Here's another thing too. If they reboot Yu-Gi-Oh, like we're doing a reboot, what exactly are we rebooting? Like, are we rebooting, or rather, what would you want to see? Like Duelist Kingdom only? Do we do like Duelist Kingdom and Battle City and then kind of like stop there? Are we going like reboot full on, like all the arcs of what's your pulse check on that?
I would take anything. I wouldn't mind either just a Duel Monsters revamp for nostalgia and sort of going back to that series. And if that does really well, maybe we do GX or something like that. We could finally get that damn last season dubbed. Have like little vignettes of just 2 or 3 episodes
now this
for
I
each
like.
of the Yu-Gi-Oh series. Like, what is everybody up to in the Duel Monsters world nowadays after the series finished? Let's look at Kaiba. He's working at his business. Maybe he's overworking himself. He has an opportunity to unwind with a duel he hasn't done in for absolute ages. What is
now this could work well if you go with like the Duel Links narrative, right? Where Duel Links, if you didn't know, basically, well, to me, as far as I read it, basically makes everything canon. If you look at the dueling events, like characters interact with characters that are canon in the anime and in the manga, right? Yugi meets up with Pegasus during the Paradox thing. Like manga Yami Yugi and Yugi meet up with movie, well, I would assume, Duel Links version of a of paradox, right? So Duel Links is nuts. Duel Links is where I say Kaiba has been hiding during 5Ds or whatever he's doing. Wherever he disappeared to. Dark Side of Dimensions, hey, GX, he's making a school. Hey, we got to figure out what he's been doing. So we could do that. We could go back and be like, which side are we going to tell? Kaiba made Duel Academy, or did he die in Dark Side of Dimensions? Did he? I don't know. I still don't know if he died. Sorry for the spoiler. I mean, it's not much of a spoiler if you kind of don't know what the outcome was. So, great movie. But yeah, sing vignettes, as Sam said, of the characters back where we left them or at a certain point that people know enough, right? That would be great. And then connect that to a series. Be like, boom, hey, we're all meeting for a Dimensional War Part 2.
When it comes to like what material should be rebooted, I know like some people want Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0, which I think is interesting. I'm not as big on, like, I think it would be a fun 12.
You guys were just talking about adapting the Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga again or retelling it again. But when you bring up Season 0, you guys are kind of like wincing a little bit. You're kind of like,
episode raw type of thing. Like it's sort of a spin-off. It's like maybe a season's worth. But I think that for what would get the most like mainstream appeal and mainstream attention, you do Duelist Kingdom, you do Battle City, and you do like Battle City Finals. And I think you kind of stop it there. Not because I think that the others are bad, like Waking the Dragons or Millennium World or whatever, but mostly just because like I know that is what the most amount of people are purely nostalgic for. And if you're Konami or not Studio, what is this?
Studio Bridge.
Studio that does this. Gallop. Studio Gallop, and like, and you're kind of like,
but they did Gallop.
We
did
can
do the other
greenlight
ones.
this anime, but maybe we can only like greenlight like 50 episodes or something. Like we're not gonna do this full like 200 episode thing. I think you go for what the most people know, and so basically it's like Duelist Kingdom, Battle City. You're able to recreate a lot of the high points of like Yugi versus Weevil, Mai versus Joey, like all that.
You can flesh those things out a little bit more that they probably didn't get in the original series as well.
Do you want to flesh them out, or abridge them and then retell them? Like, I don't know.
Which is really good.
Exactly. And
it is a shame. I really like the Orichalcos arc, but I do agree with you. I think that and the virtual worlds, the Grand Championship definitely needs to be cut.
Here's the deal. Grand Champion, I agree. Except you won't get Vivian Wong, baby. Come on. We need our, what do they call her? We need our duelist groupie or whatever she is. She's a duelist herself, so she's just she's for the streets. Everybody loves Vivian Wong. But Noah's Arc, where you find out more about Kaiba's backstory, like the only way we knew more about Kaiba's backstory, because I wasn't reading the manga at 11. I didn't know shit about that. Come on. Just watching the anime. And I didn't even watch that as a kid. I watched that as an adult. So it was great to see that. Seeing Kaiba's backstory through the virtual world arc, everybody instantly thinks of Tay and that damn penguin. Get over it. And also, pretty much every other duel that happened in the virtual world arc, except for the last final ones that are really awesome. But honestly, I like the little shenanigans. And as far as Noah is a cool inclusion. I mean, like, the real son of Gozabora. That is actually something that you should revisit. You should revisit that and the Orichalcos arc and flesh that out. Go back and make that cooler or something. Because in Duel Links, they just added, at the time of this video, they just added Orichalcos characters and Noah's Arc. Right? They just added Noah and all that. And that all fits in with Battle City. And Orichalcos arc fits in with Battle City. And not only that, Pyramid of Light. Not really, but a little bit there. Right? You see Mai there. You see Mai building up her tension in Pyramid of Light. Just for a split second. And that bleeds into the Orichalcos arc. Like, we had no proof of Mai being pissed off beforehand. Yes, you did. Pyramid of Light. She was given the side eyes. Mean mugging. But to totally dismiss that, I think would be a bad move. I'd say include that within your vignettes, right? Within your little flashbacks. I would love to see a revisitation of that stuff. Go back to Mai. Everybody discredits Mai, man. And everybody's like, oh, yeah, she was written badly. Like, whatever, bro. Shut up. Well, here we go. Let's have another chance at it. Let's rewrite Mai. But yeah, that's my feelings on the Orichalcos and Noah's Arc and all that. Yeah, it's filler, but as far as what resulted out of it, people in the end, they like it. Maybe not.
And to be clear, like, I know people are going to be like,
Virtual World in the middle of the Battle City tournament is silly.
I know, yeah. Like, and to be clear, I love all these arcs. Like, if
Yu-Gi-Oh is silly, bro. This whole thing is silly, but it's cool. But I get it. Virtual World arc, it ran on a little bit long. If it was shortened up, be good.
In a perfect world, we just get the whole thing, everything's rebooted and like new decks, better animation, all that. But I just think that, like, I know that with how like anime kind of goes these days, it's hard enough to even get some anime like greenlit for another season. So like, I think that if you're gonna do Yu-Gi-Oh, you gotta like hammer hard with like the guaranteed bangers of like what people know.
It's a shame with not Waking the Dragon. What's the final season called? The
Millennium World, I think.
So this right here, Paul in his comments on the comment that I left on his video got a little snippy with me, and I got very snippy back. I just said that how could anybody hate the Millennium World arc? It's a great exhibition of the Pharaoh being a badass and an awesome conclusion to the series. Not all of Yu-Gi-Oh anime has to be pack-filled with a duel every episode. It's pretty much the gist of what I commented, and then he comments back, who said anybody hated it or something. And it's like, did you not read the rest of what I said? Why did you have to nitpick that one thing? And I said, is disliking better, Paul? Does that make you happy, Paul? If I said disliked, come on, here we go, let's continue. Paul, don't like your attitude. Shape up.
Millennium World. That is not a great Yu-Gi-Oh season because there's...
Sam, the Millennium World arc wasn't good. See, now that I'm saying it out loud, yeah, man, I'd have to disagree with you, Sam. It's really good. Again, like I said, beautiful execution. Not perfect. But, I mean, hey, for the time, and even looking back at it now, rewatching as an adult, I loved it. I loved every second of it. And then to find out that, yeah, there was like, Kazuya Takahashi was struggling, there was complications with whatever was going on, that he just ended up making a giant dragon dick for the evil villain. It's like, hey, whatever. Everything else was badass. I mean, like, what more do you want? It was happening in real time. Did you make this shit? I don't think so. So, for what it was and how long this story was, I mean, bro, come on. It ain't no One Piece. Like, it's not, I don't even know how long, but everybody talks about how long One Piece, but longer isn't always better, brah. How could you say this, Sam?
Like 2 duels?
Look at the disgust on his face. Sam, the Millennium World arc is not worthy of this face. What it makes me do? Happy idiot signs over here. That's how I'm feeling when I see Millennium World arc. Pharaoh just swinging his Egyptian dick. Come on.
Everything else is like, it's my least favorite.
Oh my, least favorite compared to the Virtual World. He likes Virtual World arc more than Millennium World arc? What the Again, hey, you guys are losing focus here on the core of why I'm assuming you two and why me liked it in the beginning, the allure of it, the Egyptian mythology. You need to understand what's going on here. Millennium World arc. When I first saw the first couple episodes of it, when he was back in Egypt, I'm like, whoa, so good. Stop. Sam.
Yeah, I don't remember half of what happens in that. I remember Grandpa, the old version, summons Exodia against Zork, and Zork has a giant penis face thing.
Yeah, Sam, when you rudely sum it up like that and totally discredit this great man's work, like, dude, what the fuck was that? I'm being genuine here. Maybe you're like more sophisticated than me in the writing area, but honestly, give him a fucking break here. Dragon dick and summon Exodia obelisk? Bro, what? You don't even remember? You know how many times I've gone back to watch that shit? It's so fucking good. Sam, you're making people not want to see that shit.
If anything was going to get a bit of a remaster, throw like a ton more duels into that season. It should be that last season, or cut straight to the final duel.
Come on, Sam, shit. Just skip to the end, throw some more duels in it. Like, whoa, bro, I'm glad you're not writing this shit. I'm sorry, Sam. I have big respects to the channel, man, but fuck.
Believe it or not, what if that was what they did? Duelist Kingdom, right?
Yep.
We kind of get a little remaster of that. Battle City, so we get all the fun, like iconic, Jinzo, Dark Magician Girl, like Slifer, God cards, whatever. And then we kind of just cut right to the ceremonial duel.
Yeah.
Oh my god, bro. Do you realize the development that happens for the Pharaoh? The character that's everybody's like, oh, he's a badass. He never loses except for whatever twice. Bro, he gets his ass kicked in the last season. He couldn't fucking do it without the crew. And yeah, the development of the crew itself and the story, it matters. Do not skip the Millennium World arc.
It sounds a bridge, but like...
And then,
yeah, like basically that. Like, and then...
Yes, short revisitations throughout all these things. That's fine. But totally disregarding, no, you have to keep it in there.
That way we're getting all the high points, and you could probably do that in like 50 episodes. Like, oh my god, guys, like they're rebooting Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, I would be into that.
A reboot of Yu-Gi-Oh! I think is inevitable. I think it's coming. I feel it in my bones. So many people have been talking about it. I feel like people who are in the corporations and all that who run this shit, I think they have been pushing for it too. Because it doesn't take too much thinking to get to the conclusion that your main guy here, who brought everybody to the dance, even now, the character design of this and the story and the allure of the characters and the everything. It's what worked. It's what still works. But going about it in the wrong way and skipping some things and maybe adding things could be detrimental or could be exciting. Who knows?
What do you think of these Yu-Gi-Oh! Official card game, The Chronicles? For some context for people who don't know, by the way. Like, these are, how would you describe them actually?
Here it goes.
If you had to explain what they are to somebody, because I always struggle with this myself actually. Like,
so Yu-Gi-Oh cards, more newer ones, have like stories attached to them. If you look at the artworks, you can see a stories being told, and they actually have some books, I think, called I forgot the name of them, but they actually do tell a little bit of a story.
Value books, guidebooks, right?
So Konami's made some...
Yes, they're guidebooks. EX. Valuable books.
Small, really, really short animations which tell some of these stories. So we've had the Sky Striker story told, and we've also had the Fallen of Albaz story told at the moment, with rumors that the next one's going to be the Charmers, which I'm quite excited for. I do like them, but that's it. They're basically the actual stories of the card.
Yeah.
Do you see that response? Let's go back for a second.
That's it. They're basically the actual stories.
That's it.
Of the
cards.
card.
Paul, of the cards. Guys, again, reminder. People have been asking for this for a while. Whoa, what if we could see the anime of the actual cards, right? Of the card lore, right? Since they made all this archetype lore. Here we are now, and this is your face?
How do you
This is how you treat it?
feel about them? Because we've had several now. What were your thoughts?
It's something I've always heard people want to say. Like, you've got this amazing lore, why not make stories of them? And now finally seeing it, I think it's cool. They're
It
way too short.
It was. Now, not so much. Sky Strikers were like 4 minutes altogether. 5 minutes altogether, kind of, between two episodes. So yeah, very short episodes. People didn't really dig the pacing. And the Sky Strikers Burden, the trailer animation within the playable solo mode and Master Duel, that was actually really cool. That was like the first example of the Chronicles as far as following what we are supposed to be gathering is a connected storyline. Maybe. Right, that's what I think. I think the reason why these episodes are so damn short, even with the better ones that are longer, like I said, they're better now that they're longer with Dogmatica and moving forward. It's been like 6 minutes and above, 7 minutes. They're short because we've only got so much time to get these highlighted segments out in order to, what? Possibly get to like an ultimate enemy, right? Or whatever could be a story that connects all these archetypes that are separated into all these different worlds. Because that's what the Chronicles are. These are all worlds taking place separate from each other, but they're in the same dimension of the Duel Monsters realm, essentially, that are a parallel to the real world of the actual duelists, right? Like Yugi and Domino City and even Yuma and all these characters, 5Ds and Vrains and all that, and Go Rush and all that, right? It's a parallel. But yeah, they're getting longer. There may be a connected storyline. That's why it's so short.
I actually found the Sky Striker one a little bit disappointing. I think it was just the way the story was told in that short one. It was a bit repeated and things.
It was
It was short, but again, it had so much cool stuff within that trailer that was like altogether, I think like 6 minutes of anime footage. No voice acting. But it did show the characters mouthing things, which to that I say could be an indication of what I'm saying, that they've recorded all this stuff and it's stored. We may see more fleshed out scenes of the Sky Strikers and all these other archetypes, right? That may be what we'll be seeing down the line, even if it's not the case. I still like the Sky Strikers burden. That's what made people excited for the Chronicles anime. They're like, whoa, this looks really good. So
the worst to me. I actually, my hot take on the Sky Striker one is that I think it was like their proof of concept. Like,
yeah,
because
proof of concept. I think the 25th anniversary celebration video that they showed at the Tokyo Dome event, that was the proof of concept, if anything. I guess proof of concept for the Sky Strikers would be the Master Duel solo mode implementation. That's where I would agree with Paul, only in that sense, though.
The Albaz and Ecclesia one is altogether just better, like voice acting, pacing, advancing the story. I think that the Sky
Dio
Striker
is the voice of one of the dogmatic. You can't go wrong
he's
with
Maximus, I think.
Yeah.
And like I think that with
by the way, go watch my Dogmatica Ecclesia review where I talk about all this in great detail and badassery. I spent months on it.
Sky Striker, it was just them kind of like, here's our pilot episode, like proof of concept. It's more just like Ray.
I mean, it makes sense. It's a story about two anime girls. Like, if that's going to appeal to anyone, it's
But it's the Gooners. Is that what you wanted to say? I mean, that's fine. They're 15. That's pedophile shit. I'm sorry. I'd have to agree with them that they did waste the Sky Strikers opportunity, at least for the shorts. And also within that 25th anniversary video, it's like, really, you gotta show Ray in her skirt blowing in the wind? Come the fuck on, you fucking Gooners at Konami. I do not. Yeah, I'm actually switching my. I really do not appreciate what they did with the Sky Strikers. The Sky Strikers manga and the story is way beyond just two anime girls. Like making Rose pop up naked. What is that? That was bullshit. But the Sky Strikers manga was so good. Took elements from your favorite sci-fi stuff and made it better. But it really wasn't that much like what the Sky Strikers anime short showed. Yeah, that was truly a waste. From the solo mode, what was in Master Duel, the trailer, right? The first Sky Strikers burden thing was so good. Lost opportunity here, but I still have faith that they will, like I said, show more of some Sky Strikers that is not just some pedophile fan service, I guess. Sheesh.
They're too short, and my biggest problem with them is I don't understand what they're for, because I've got the Konami Animation Studios. That's what that Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles, the first one, was for. I assume to mainstream people see this animation, oh, what's this animation for? And bring them to Yu-Gi-Oh! But I don't think that
Yes, you got that.
That's the effect it's having.
What is their goal exactly with this? Well, to promote the animation studio for Konami, because they're building up for bigger projects. This is just a fun thing that's a part of bigger thing.
On just the general public, because no one understands what's going on in the stories too much.
Now, this is where the content creators have their work cut out for them. Sam, this is your job, where if you see that people are confused by what's going on, make reviews and deep dives into the lore and what the episodes were about. Okay, because if you do that, and you reference from the manga into what this stuff was actually derived from, you find out that it's actually kind of cool to go over it and let people know what is actually going on. It is kind of fun.
Let's make this Wonderland animation of the main Malice Stormhouse falling into Wonderland, show all this world and all this stuff. Like, wow, it's really cool. What are these? These are the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I'll go pick them up. Like Genshin Impact and games like that, where when a new 5-star character comes out, they put an animation aside of it to hype people up for it, and they put like a music video attached to it. And that's what I would do. I just stick music to these things.
These short episodes for the Chronicles, they have incredible music attached to them. And I know what you're saying. That's not the same as an official AMV, basically, or whatever the hell. The stuff they're putting out alone is pretty good. They're putting it out on YouTube. Probably the most eyes. The app is free. It's not Netflix. You got to pay for Netflix. You got to pay for Crunchyroll and all that. So,
and that sell like hotcakes.
I'm so glad you mentioned this, because I 2,000,000% agree with you. Like, I think when I first saw these, my biggest question was like, what is this actually for? Like, what is it meant to do? Because like you said, like I've seen like
First of all, it's for fans, existing fans, and it's for non-fans. These guys are so seemingly embedded with Yu-Gi-Oh! Every day, but they're just looking at it like, oh yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is supposed to be only an anime thing with cards. It's just cards. No, you guys watch so much anime out there. Paul, Sam, I know you've probably watched a bunch of anime, a bunch of new anime out there. Maybe. And even if it's not, a bunch of the old anime. Even if it's just a little, you've seen some other stuff, I bet. And they don't all have cards. That's why Yu-Gi-Oh! Is so unique. It has the cards. Ooh. But, hey, didn't start out like that. Season 0, the beginning of the manga, had to deal with high stakes, psychological horror stuff. And now with the Chronicles, especially with Dogmatica, I mean, you're seeing serious battles go down. Haven't seen a battle in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like that again since Millennium World arc. The Pharaoh was chopping people in half, just cutting people's guts out. Just didn't see it. A little bit censored, but you saw some of it.
Endless Zone Zero and Wuthering Waves and Genshin, like, those are cool. There is a new character dropping in the game. They get a cool animation and the music,
Genshin
and it's
Impact.
very exciting. But with this, it's sort of like, well, Sky Strikers have been out for years. Albaz and Ecclesia have been out for years. And now we're about to do Charmers, which, like, that's been out for decades. And yes, they do release new support for all these decks. But whenever I finish these like, Chronicle promo, and I don't even know what to call them, I guess promo animes, I'm just sort of like, what does Konami want me to do next? And who's supposed to see it? Because
what does Konami want you to do next? You're thinking about it backwards, Paul. What do they want me to do next? No, they want you to do all that you do to enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh! Get familiar, see what's up, see the cards, play Master Duel, and see the notifications that tell you that a new episode is out. This is all leading to you watching the Chronicles anime. That's what this is for. It's not about watching the anime and figuring out what to do next. Just watch the next episode. Just enjoy the anime, Paul. Just enjoy the episode. This is their gift to you. This is a little project they're doing, putting it out. Actually, it's a big project, but it's for you to enjoy and create your own content from. Like, seriously, it's a goldmine for you. You bigger creators, I swear, you got it too good. You don't even know how good you got it. But yeah, the card game, Master Duel, and all the other stuff about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is kind of to promote the new animation studio. The complications of the studios, the rights to all this stuff, Kazuki Takahashi's death, what may be going on in the background. Konami Animation's website slogan says, Konami plus anime equals evolution. They want to show their chops with animation. So it's not the anime promoting the card game or Master Duel, which it does automatically, but it's new ground, it's a new way, it's different.
they're published on the OCG channel, but they're not really placed anywhere else. Like are they going to be maybe used as ads on like other social media? I haven't really seen that. Like,
I mean, is it necessary to really take out a bunch of money and put it in ads for this? No, it's free. See it out there for free. If you're a Yu-Gi-Oh fan, the algorithm is bound to show this to you, so whatever. Do I wish they had an English version? Yeah, of course. But, I mean, hey, this is probably the most accessible Yu-Gi-Oh anime in real time. I mean, everybody is able to get YouTube, pretty much.
I mean, I'm only consuming them on YouTube, but, I mean, I guess that's the place for them, but...
Yeah, so
it seems to be more to promote Master Duel things rather than like the whole of Yu-Gi-Oh, I guess. Because whatever they do with the Chronicles, they're putting like little events in Master Duel, I guess.
But they don't even actually mention Master Duel in them. Like,
or do they not? There's not a little thing at the end, like
because Master Duel mentions the anime. Again, it's not the anime's purpose is not to promote Master Duel. It does in a way, but it doesn't have to put another splash screen and say, "Hey, Master Duel." Okay, if they did, people would be pissed off more than they already were with all the splash screens.
Play me now on Master Duel.
Yeah, because at the end they'll always just show an image of the card. It'll be like, okay, here is the card, and that's it. And
Paul, it's subtlety. What the fuck do you want them to do? Do you want them to really pull out a fucking 90s ad voice guy and say, yeah, watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duels? Get the fuck out of here. No, come on. Again, it's to promote the animation studio and the anime, bro.
They don't, I guess like there could be more of like a connective tissue to be like, okay, like you watch this epic thing, Now go play it in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel and at least have like the logo and like something that says like, okay, it's now available as a structure.
Or a little code that says you can get this exclusive Ray icon if you go to Master Duel now because you watched this show.
No, I know that they do have the codes.
Yeah, Sam, that's what I'm saying. Like, Sam, I could have swore he did a video when this first happened and the first episodes there where they had the little codes you could put it into Master Duel. But you got to realize that Master Duel told you in the notification of the new episode that, hey, look out for the code so you can enter to get all this free stuff that has to do with the anime. So they did do that. Sam, I don't know how you did not pick up on all this. So I'm saying, like, for real, you do this stuff for a living. Like, I've got, like, I'm busy as hell. I'm a level 1 slime out here, day laborer. And even I know what's going on with this stuff. I mean, come on, man. You gotta, that's what I'm saying. You guys are not giving the Chronicles, like, the chance. I mean, I guess the Sky Strikers really did piss you off, so I don't blame you. But as far as these guys are like the biggest content creators, and their attitude towards this shit is just so poor.
There's something.
Oh, they do.
They'll hide the code like in the
I fucking hate Konami, the TCG side.
episode somewhere, and like if you enter.
Oh, okay.
And the OCG people who made the fucking pedo shit, whoever the artists are. What's going on, guys? Who the fuck made Trap Tricks? Shout out to It's Time to Cool.
That's kind of cool.
But like they still don't even tell you about the existence of Master Duel in the promo. So
who gives a fuck, pal?
You really wouldn't. Like
you got the fucking Master Duel sweater. Is that not
maybe I would just want
big enough for you?
Like,
Come on.
Do you feel like it even? Because there's some people who feel that this could completely replace the need for a future Yu-Gi-Oh anime. Like
no, nobody's saying that. Nobody's fucking saying.
I don't know. I don't think it could.
This is just what's going on right now. Nothing to look more into that. It's not replacing. I mean, technically it is. Technically it is in place of what we would usually have. So
I don't think it scratched that itch. It's cool to have the laws told.
Sam, look at this face. It's cool. That is fucking cool.
I would never be as invested in stories about the archetypes as.
I hate this fucking attitude that Yu-Gi-Oh anime fans have. Like, I mean, I know you're probably watching it, but are you watching it with an open mind? I don't think so.
I would about an actual character going through and dueling, because that's what the game's about, really. It's about the actual dueling. That's what you're doing when you play the game. So I'd much rather have a new thingy. But
again, we're in a new time where not all Yu-Gi-Oh anime has to be about dueling. Again, we're in a new culture of anime where people just like to check out anime. I think that's what's going on here a little bit too. Konami Animation knows that. The shorts have shown scenes that would be like, whoa, if you saw that casually or like on the peripheral, I could see an anime fan being like, check out Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles. It's happened.
It's cool to get the Chronicle stories, but I wouldn't want it to take up resources from anything else.
Which it already is. It is. So, there you go, Sam. But yeah, as far as like a duelist anime, yeah, I love seeing a good duelist kick some ass. As long as the story's good, okay? People love Zexal, right? But I think it was really choppy so far, but still epic and badass. Doesn't hold up to Duel Monsters, I'm sorry, but I still respect the hell out of it. But my want to see a badass, cool, mature character older than you, say, or around the same age, or just a cool character in general, whatever age, doesn't outweigh my general curiosity to see how the Chronicles pans out and what it has to offer. I'm willing to see and enjoy, and I'm not going to have an attitude that, oh, it's going to replace how anime works now, that we're only just going to get lore arc. No, I'm not fucking thinking that. I'm not even going to say that.
I would love to, we should definitely continue to have them, but I hope that they would never try to replace the need for a new Yu-Gi-Oh anime with them.
They're fucking not, bro.
I hope the reason we haven't had a new series talked about now isn't because of the Chronicles thing. I hope that is also happening alongside.
Which it is. To think otherwise is insane.
When do we get it? Do you think we get an announcement this year at like at Jump Festa, or what are you feeling?
Oh, now I don't normally watch Jump Festas and stuff. Do they normally do that kind of thing at them? Announce new Yu-Gi-Oh stuff?
Hey, I just want to point out that Sam should know this. Sam, how the hell have you been doing Yu-Gi-Oh content for, what, 10 years or something? And you don't know that they've announced pretty much every new Yu-Gi-Oh anime was announced at Jump Festa? I mean, come on. I tried to go on in a rant about how they're not changing that. They're not keeping it exclusive to Jump Fest anymore. They did the Tokyo Dome event for the Chronicles with that anniversary video. But I can't deny that, yeah, history shows. Every new show for Yu-Gi-Oh! Has been announced at Jump Festa pretty much.
I know it's typically Jump Festa in December. That's just kind of how the last few have been.
If that's the case, then I would like to see announcements this year, like even just like a little tease. When did Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush finished this year? I feel like they have to announce something, surely, just to let people know that they're working on some stuff at the very least. So I'd like to say we get a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime within the next 2 years. 2 years.
Fair, Sam. Fair.
Years at max, I would say.
Okay, I'm with you. I'm thinking like, I guess the fanboy
and a
in
movie.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Sam from TGS Anime, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, boys. Paul, be nicer to me. I'll be nicer to you. And my comments, you don't have to take them so negatively, bro. Because then you get catty, and then I get mad, and then this is all shit. Okay, but yeah, no real shade towards Sam. Okay, if you watch this, doubtful, fucking doubt it. Doubt Paul watched this either. But you guys been making money out of this for a long time. You guys are pretty much some of the biggest names in the Yugi-Tube space. You're very successful. And I'm just like dumbfounded by how you perceive Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime in some areas. Also dumbfounded by how Sam doesn't know a lot of shit that he should know. But yeah, I'm a hardcore anime fan for Yu-Gi-Oh! And yeah. Interesting takes from these guys. Interesting stuff. Let me know what you think. Am I being a hater? Hey, maybe. Probably. But I don't know. These guys are just, again, the biggest guys in the space almost. And really, especially Sam, TGS Anime, he does a lot of anime breakdown for Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's like, come on, bro. What the fuck? What's going on? And you hate the Millennium World arc? Oh, sorry, Paul. He didn't like it that much. He didn't like it. When's the next anime coming out? I would like to personally see a continuation of the story. Right from Dark Side of Dimensions, or maybe a year time skip from that, but possibly an older Yugi, everybody else, if you're going to go to Duel Monsters again. And if a reboot happens, I would like to see all arcs summed up and abridged. And if the reboot does happen, I would like to see it incorporated with new storylines. As in, finish it off, but then add, maybe, again, revisit like Sam said, 5Ds, and the other series give you some vignettes, and then get to the main villain, right? Big old arc V version 2. People have been talking about it for years. Could happen. 7 items down.